Hi guys. So today I have some meeting in the morning, so I couldn't have a live show with you guys in the morning, just like we do all the time. So instead, I'm recording this new Excel training video. Um, Today our topic is I changed it a little bit. I was going to actually do a quick review, but then I realized I there was some parts I have missed from data validation, some very advanced level I wanted to touch. And usually, just because it's advanced, I don't really do it. But I realized that this is a super useful, immediately applicable to our professional works. So I decided to change our plan a little bit. One more change, if you probably have noticed, is that I changed all this part for open for suggestion. And I don't know if it was Thao or I don't know if it was Nom. You guys were talking about uh, can we do pivot table? Yes, we can. And then I changed the whole thing. Dashboard, as you guys probably guessed, plans change all the time in professional settings. So as I always say, we're not at school anymore. Okay, so we are going to do some more data validation today. Um, and as we always have our ritual, let's talk about our missions. Not just the mission, but you can always ask for private training. You gotta invest into your own skills and always remember progress is progress no matter how small. If you know the right target, keep going that way, you'll get there eventually. And the reason why I emphasize being very efficient, being very proficient in our skills, being very skillful, is that if you work hard, but if you don't have the right skills, then you're just wasting your time. I mean, you're not really wasting your time, but you're more like you're not really using your time most efficiently. So efficiency equals working hours times skill proficiency. So always practice, always get better with the hands, better with the skills. So without any further ado, let's go down straight to the session 8. Let me just set a hyperlink for this. Okay, so here we go. All right. So data validation 2, and I want to talk to you more about the features available on data validation. At the end, I'm going to show you how our uh, the list we have set up can automatically change. But let me show you by example. So quick recap. In the previous data validation, we learned that there are many features available on data validation, but only the, and I but I only wanted to talk to you guys about three features, which are um, information of each showing the information on each cell, which was doing this. Okay, you click it and then they are available. Drop down and setting the source, so you can make a table that looks like this. You can do that, and setting the error alert, something different. Uh, the computer is going to stop you from um, inputting any wrong information. Okay, now uh, bef- before I go to the main part, let me just show you and let me remind you that um, in data validation, okay, in data validation, uh, and as you do this, I really want you guys to actually look at Excel as we do this. Okay, if you go to your own data validation, what you will notice is that uh, there are so many other features that are available in data validation. Okay, so when you do get to build your own database later on, and you feel like there are other what you have learned from session 7 is not really sufficient to build an efficient table, you come to me and I'll do some more private training for you. And you can actually set the data restriction for the prime numbers, for the decimal places. So you can set how many decimal places to be shown. You can the list, which is something we have already done. We can do it for the date. We can do it for the time. We can do it even for the the length of the text. You can limit how many letters that get into that specific cell, and of course, you can also do the customization. But uh, most of the features that you will be handling, I'm sure they will be covered by all the things here. Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that you guys know that data validation is not a very restricted tool, but it's actually a very extensive tool you can use to build your database. Okay, so I just wanted to remind you guys about that. Now, moving on further is okay. So we have learned those, and one advanced form that I wanted to show you is this. Okay, so in most of our everyday applications, we would have changing list of channels. Sorry, I was meant to say changing list of data set. Okay. So what that means is we don't really just limit ourselves to just three things. You know, sometimes as we work on a database, there are more database data we want to add onto the data. Maybe for example, num for example for you, it's going to be we have a specific product of insurance, and but next month they have a new product, and so we have to add four more. You know, and maybe Swan, for your example, we have a bunch of different categories of KOL, and later on we want to put more types of KOLs. We want to put more category onto what we are setting up as our data. So what do we do? Because and every time we do it, we have to change this every time, and that's very inefficient. So and I found this amazing. I didn't know until I actually was preparing this. So as you can see, we have a increased version, but this table, this sets of data can easily be increased. Let me show you. So instead of using the channel that looks like this, I can show you like this. I'm going to call it LAFS channel. Okay, and you can just see that what I have just said here, it's actually set a different special table here, and whatever I add on top of this will be added on top of the uh, list here. Let me show you. See, right? Yeah, let me show you just one more. Of course, I'm going to show you how to do this later. Let's say uh, damn it, channel. So you can see this is now part of the list. Let's see. Boom, there's one more. Okay, so without having to reset the table, data set every single time there's a new one, let me show you how this is done. Okay, that's our target. So without further ado, let me show you how to do this. Okay, so um, okay, so the way we do this is so forget about this new table I have made. Let's just say we want to from our background data, we want to copy that, and we want to change this channel, the data sets to be changing every time. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so what you do is you go to your source sheet, you go here and forget that part. I'm going to call this practice channel uh, channel practice. Okay. Now in this channel, let's just say I want to put everything in here. Okay, let's take of example. Let's just say I want to put things here. Okay, and what I do is you guys should be watching this very carefully from now. So what I do is and I want to create this as our separate table that exists in the Excel. It's done like this. I drag that part and I go to insert. Okay, you gotta. I mean, sorry, it's Korean version. You gotta go to insert. You go to table. Okay, and then Excel is going to ask you, what are you putting into this table, so called, and it's because I already dragged it. It's going to automatically detect the range. Okay, and I press okay. Now then after that you will see something that looks like this. And don't forget, after you do this, you want to name your maybe it's not very visible, but you want to name your uh, table name, and I'm going to name it channel practice. By the way, if you name this channel with the space, it's not going to register. Let me show you. There's an error. So every time you do this, usually you want to follow up by putting no space in between, just put underscore, something like that, center, channel underscore practice, and all that. Okay, so now we have this new set of table. Now I go to my table. So instead of using our old sets of data set, what I want to do is I want to change that specific table uh, to be this area's data set. So what I do is I drag that part and I go to data, I go to data validation, press that. Okay, so if you go here, um, oh excuse me. Okay, you know what? Let me redirect that part. Okay, so if I drag that part, then it's going to show me. Sorry, I dragged that upper part, which was unnecessary. If I drag that part, this is going to tell me that the data I have set as the data set, the sets of possible choices, are in here. Okay, this cannot be changed unless I change. Every time I change, I have to go redo the numbers. But there's a way around to it. So I told you I want to use this table as a keep moving thing that can be used. So the way I do it is I delete all that, type indirect, open parentheses, and quotation mark, and I type in whatever the table name I have put in there, which was channel underscore practice, quotation mark, and parentheses, and enter. Now what's going to happen is that this specific sets of data is set as this indirectly to this channel practice table. Let me just show you guys the important parts. And so let me just review that part for you guys. So go to the source, make your new table, make a new table. So that's A, and then B, you make that table, and what you do is you rename that table whatever you want. You have to remember that, obviously, and then you come back to the data validation part. You want to put table as possible choices. Use indirect function to that connect to, well, I mean, if you're really watching this video, then I'm sure you understand what I'm trying to say here anyways. Okay, so you go here, and then let me just show you that how all you have to do if you want to add something on top of this table, all you have to do, go to the source. Let's just say I want to add a LAFS channel. Okay, I add that, it gets automatically added to the table. um, Go here, LAFS channel. And I'm sure this feature is very, very useful if you are building a database and there's a whole bunch of things you have to add on top of the on certain category, whatnot. And if you're not sure about the application, especially when you're building your own something Excel, come to me. I'll be very, very happy to give you more guides about how you are using those applications. Okay, that's it. If you guys have any questions, drop them on the comment part. I'll be very happy to know about what you're curious about. Um, okay, well, I think that's it, and I'll see you guys at the office and the Google Meets. Okay, guys, enjoy rest of your Saturday and Sunday, and don't forget to like.